Welcome back. Talk about innovative. My goodness, at just 14 years old, Kyle Tianshi is working to fight water pollution. 14 years old, you heard that, right? So he's got the research going, educational programs, and was just recognized as an international young eco hero. Yeah, he got an award for that, and he's joining us live this morning to talk about his project. Nereid is the name of the project. We want to meet you, Kyle. This is so exciting to have you on. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So glad to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. And congratulations. You just won an award. So let's talk about your invention first, because there's so much to you already at just 14 years old. But this project Nereid, this is amazing, helping find microplastics in our water. Tell us all about it, where the idea came from.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my parents would always tell me not to drink from the tap water, especially in foreign countries, and I didn't really understand why. So I was instantly intrigued, and I began researching about the topic, and I discovered that there are a bunch of contaminants in water, such as arsenic, nitrites, and other microorganisms. But I discovered this one mysterious contaminant that didn't have a lot of research on it. And this contaminant was called microplastics. So microplastics are these tiny pieces of plastic that can degrade off of bigger pieces of plastic over time. And I was really scared by these things because, first of all, they're little pieces of plastic. But secondly, we really don't know much about them. We don't really understand their health impacts as of now. And California, their water board is currently trying to figure out how exactly to detect them and how to define microplastics in drinking water. So it was a really relevant topic, and that's what initially got me into the project.
Now, Kyle, I want to ask you, because, you know, in the past, I've done stories with researchers at Scripps Institution of Oceanography, for example. They look up microplastics. We know the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, all of that plastic is like crumbling, and these teeny tiny microscopic pieces are ending up in our fish, in the food, in our water. They're everywhere, and so many people were like, no way that we can't be consuming it, but we are. It's happening. So you have found a way to discover it in our water, is that right? Explain how that would work.
Right. So I designed a device that's called Nereid, which can detect microscopic particles in water. I guess I'll start off with how exactly I got the inspiration for the design in my device. So I'm going to take you back to my camping trips when I was younger, where I would run around in the dark with a flashlight. And the most interesting thing is that I would see all these millions of dust particles spinning around inside the beam of the flashlight. Oh. So I thought, what if I could take that idea, except turn it into water, where if I shine a light source into water, I can illuminate all the particles in the water. Wow. So that's what I did. I designed my device, which is called Nereid. It's named after Greek water spirits, but it also stands as an acronym for Nanoparticle Examining Raspberry Pi Empowered Image Processing Detector. That may sound a little complicated, but it's really not as complicated as it seems. So what it does is it takes a laser and it shines it into water. And since the laser is so powerful, it can illuminate all the particles in the water, even if they're really small. And that includes microplastics. And secondly, I have a microscope that can be used to view these particles. And finally, I have the Raspberry Pi component, and it's not a food, it's actually a microcomputer, which can be used to run simple Python code and stuff like that, which is what I used for my device.
Okay, and you just recently won an Innovator Award. I can see why, of course. And then you have a patent pending for this, is that right?
Right, I have a provisional patent right now.
Yeah, you would think it's something we would all use. I want to know what's in our water and if it's okay to drink or if it's filled with all those little particles. So, you know, this seems like a brilliant idea. You were 14, Kyle. How in the world? I mean, I can't imagine, you know, people work their whole life to come up with something like this, and they're considered geniuses, but you right now are doing it at such a young age. I'm sure you have so much ahead of you. Tell us also, because there's a lot more to you. You've also written 5 books, is that right?
Yeah, writing is also one of my biggest hobbies. When I'm not doing science, you'll probably find me typing something on my computer. Okay. So yeah, I have published 5 fantasy books on Amazon, and the latest one was just published probably 2 months ago. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, so this latest one, we have an image of it. What is it called? What's it about?
It's called Eventide, and it's about this boy who's living in this planet or Earth-like planet, and he's kind of trapped in this conflict between two cities. And the interesting thing about him is that he has an extremely perfect memory, which seems like a good thing, but at some points he gets kind of PTSD and he can't forget about his past.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so also, Kyle, you and your sister started a program called Clearwater Innovation. I apologize, we don't have too much time to get into it, but if you could just briefly tell us what that's about.
Yeah, so Clearwater Innovation is my nonprofit, which inspires students to do garage lab research, and it also raises awareness about the global water crisis.
Okay.
So we do things such as hosting workshops, we write blog posts about environmental related topics, and we also interview water innovators who have made their impact on the environment.
And Kyle, where do you go to school?
I go to the Cambridge School, which is a private school up on the 56.
I'm sure your teachers are very proud. I'm sure you blow their mind the way you are with us this morning. Thank you so much for being on. We could talk to you all day. You are fascinating, and congrats on your success. Thanks for what you're doing to try to solve the microplastic pollution problem. We appreciate you. Have a good morning, Kyle.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this quick break with your news and your weather headlines coming up.